because I know that dream lives inside you like a steady drumbeat, like a compass that keeps pointing somewhere far, even when you try to pretend you can stay still. And then I didn't smile anymore, because you looked so hopeful, and I felt my chest tighten. So, let me talk, just for a little while. Don't interrupt yet, not because what you'll say isn't important, but because if you say it too soon, I'll start nodding and pretending I'm okay, and you deserve the truth, even if it's messy. I want you to know, I'm not mad at you, not even a little. I'm proud of you for wanting more, for wanting wide skies and strange streets and new languages rolling off your tongue like music. I love that about you. I love how you can look at a map and feel your whole body light up, like the world is calling you by name. I need you to understand what it feels like from inside me. When you say, let's go, my mind doesn't picture airports and sunsets first. It pictures my mother's face at the kitchen table, the way she leans into her tea, like it's the only warm thing she has some days. It pictures my little brother calling me when he can't find his paperwork, even though he swears he's independent now. It pictures my best friend's laugh, loud and ugly and perfect, echoing down the street outside my apartment at midnight. Because she always forgets she's not the only person alive. It pictures birthdays and hospital waiting rooms and grocery store aisles and the stupid little traditions we don't even think about until they're gone. And then it pictures me, far away, watching all of that through a screen. And suddenly, the world doesn't look like freedom. It looks like distance. You're looking at me like you want to reach out. You can. It's okay. Put your hand on my knee like you always do. Yeah, like that. Ground me. Keep me here. Because that's what I am, I think. I'm rooted. And you're moving. And it's not your fault that you're wind and I'm soil. It's not my fault either. It's just true. I keep thinking about that night. Do you remember when you told me about the ocean in a city I've never been to? You were so animated. You were talking with your hands, knocking over your glass, not even caring because you were laughing. You said you wanted to stand at the edge of the water and feel small in the best way. And I remember looking at you and feeling this rush of love, like, God, I want to give you everything. But then you said we could go together. And my stomach dropped so fast it felt like falling down a stairwell. Not because I don't want to be with you, because I do. I do. It's because you said together, and my brain heard leave. It heard goodbye. It heard become someone who isn't here anymore. And I know that sounds dramatic. I know. You've always been the brave one. The one who thinks a closed door is just a suggestion. And I'm the one who checks the locks twice, even when I know they're fine. But it isn't just fear. It's loyalty. It's belonging. It's the feeling that my life isn't only mine. When I imagine leaving, I feel like I'm tearing a thread out of a fabric that still needs it. Like if I go, something in my family's shape changes permanently. Like my friends will adjust, and they'll be okay. And they'll say they're happy for me, and the group chat will still exist. But the jokes will shift, and someone else will sit in my place, and I'll become a story they tell. And you might say, that's just life, and you're not wrong. But you need to understand, my heart doesn't treat just life like a small thing. My heart treats it like standing in the doorway with a suitcase while everyone pretends not to cry. And the worst part is, I can hear the argument in your head. I can practically hear you shaping it want to say your family will still be there. You want to say you're allowed to want things too. And yes, all of that is true. But there's another truth I don't know how to say without sounding like I'm trying to hold you down. So I'm just gonna say it. I'm scared that if we go, you'll grow into the version of yourself you've been dreaming about. And I'll shrink into someone I don't recognize. I'm scared you'll be glowing, sunburned and smiling and full of stories. And I'll be behind you, quietly counting the days since I last hugged my mom, quietly feeling my best friend's absence like a phantom limb. And then I'm scared I'll resent you, not because you did anything wrong, but because I followed you and lost myself in the process. And I hate that I'm even capable of that, because I love you. I love you so much that it makes me honest. So, what do we do with that? Because I don't want to be the girl who says no to your life. And I don't want to be the girl who says yes and then cries in every unfamiliar bathroom. I keep thinking maybe there's a third option that doesn't feel like either of us has to die a little. Maybe it's not forever or never. Maybe it's seasons. Maybe it's you going first, just for a little while, without it being a threat to us, without it being a test, just a chapter. You chasing the horizon and me staying here, keeping the lights on, keeping the home we built warm and real. And maybe I visit, not as an escape, not as me pretending I'm suddenly made for airports, but as me choosing you in pieces I can hold. 2 weeks, 1 month, a place you're excited about, a place I can wrap my head around. You show me the streets like you're showing me a secret. You introduce me to the world slowly, like you're teaching me to swim. And then I come back, and you keep going, and we meet each other in the middle like that for a while. Does that sound possible? Or does it sound like I'm asking you to live half a life? Because that's the thing. I don't want you to compromise yourself into sadness. I've watched you when you feel trapped. You get quiet, but not peaceful quiet. More like your thoughts are pacing inside you, like a caged animal that doesn't even know what it's waiting for anymore. And I don't want to be your cage. I want to be your home. But can I be your home if home doesn't move? I'm asking you that, genuinely. Not as a trick, not as a guilt thing. Just as a question I don't know the answer to. And before you answer, let me tell you something else. Something I've barely admitted to myself. Part of why I can't leave is because I'm afraid that if I do, I'll find out I'm not as important here as I thought. I'm afraid my family will be okay without me, and my friends will fill the empty space. And I'll realize I stayed all this time because I needed them to need me. Isn't that ugly? It feels ugly to say out loud, but it's there, and it's tangled up with love in a way I can't easily separate. So when you ask me to go, it's like you're asking me to loosen my grip on everyone I've ever held, and I'm not sure my fingers know how to open. I can see your face shifting as you listen, that little crease between your eyebrows. You always get it when you're trying to understand something that doesn't come naturally to you. And I love that you're trying. I love that you're not rolling your eyes. I love that you're not making me feel small. I love that you're here because the easiest thing in the world would be for us to turn this into a fight. For you to say, I'm holding you back. For me to say, you're abandoning me. We could throw those words like knives and pretend they don't leave marks. So here's what I'm asking, softly, not as a demand, as an invitation. I want to build a plan that respects both of us, a plan with dates and details, not vague promises we can't hold on to. Because my anxiety hates fog. My anxiety needs landmarks. If you tell me, someday we'll figure it out, my brain will fill someday with all the worst endings. But if you tell me, in May, I'll go for 6 weeks, you'll visit for 10 days, we'll talk every night, we'll make a shared photo album, we'll pick a new place together for the next trip, then I can breathe, then I can imagine it without feeling like I'm being erased. And you, if you know you have movement coming, real movement, not just dreaming, maybe you won't feel trapped. Maybe you'll feel honored, like we're doing this together, even if our feet aren't always on the same ground. I know it's not the fairy tale version, but maybe it's our version, and maybe that's better, because we're real people with real roots and real restlessness. You know, when you first told me you wanted to see the world, I thought love meant I had to become the kind of girl who says yes instantly, the kind of girl who throws her arms around you and screams, "Let's go," without thinking. But love isn't always loud. Sometimes love is me sitting here, voice shaking a little, telling you the truth, even though it could change everything. Sometimes love is you listening, even though you want to run. Sometimes love is us staying in this moment long enough